Ta-da! Hi everyone, I'm back. I was running through the house to try to get here and I knew I was late. Anyway, hey everyone, good morning. It is Monday, October 22nd, and this is show number 116. I had every intention of going live the entire time I was gone last week, but circumstances didn't allow that. Good morning, Captain Cheryl. Good to see you. Good morning, Captain Maggie. I'm glad you're here too. I got my comments right here. Good morning, Captain KB. Good to see you. It's good to be back. I'm out of breath because I was running through the house with a cup of coffee, and Chandler's been very close since I got home last night, so she's kind of underfoot at the same time. So anyway, here we are. Hooray. So last week, as you know, as some of you follow along at home, I was gone. I went to New Mexico to Albuquerque to go to the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta and met up with my family there. My in-laws were there. And it was so much fun. I posted pictures on Instagram if you want to see what I did. Here's the kitty. Kitty. She's been I got home, I don't know, last evening at some point, and she's been meowing nonstop. I didn't get much sleep because of it, but she was happy everyone was here. So yeah, we went to the Balloon Fiesta. It was really quite an experience. There she is. Hi, kitty. Good morning. Oh, good morning, Sandra. I don't have my glasses on. I can barely see. It was a bucket list thing, right? It's one of those things you always dream about going and doing. And even though I have a bunch of family in New Mexico, it never worked out. You have to plan way in advance. Albuquerque's not a huge city. I mean, it's a city, but it's not huge. So the hotel rooms, I mean, they have quite a few. I was really surprised, but they all book up way, way, way in advance. I think we booked our motel in January, for October. So almost a year in advance, you have to plan. So if you're ever, oh look, there's your tail. Kitty. So if you want to go to the Albuquerque Balloon Festival, my suggestion is book way in advance and get them out. And then what you want to do is find a local if you can, and I can help you too. I know some things. And get all the inside scoop on the easiest way to navigate the situation. It's like a fairground. I mean, it was built specifically for this balloon fiesta, but I think they said it was 4 football fields big, and there are about 100,000 people on that field all at once. So, like getting to the fiesta field, you want to park somewhere like we did. We had to get up at 3:30 in the morning, and and I thought everyone was exaggerating, like, oh, come on, do we really have to get up this early? But we drove to, it was a church, and they had hundreds and hundreds of school buses shuttling people down to the fiesta field, and you have to buy those tickets in advance because they run out. And it was just a madhouse. There were hundreds of thousands of people there. But what was cool is you get there and it's dark, right? Because it's so early in the morning, and you cannot, unless you've been there before, you cannot tell what's about to happen. You don't know. It's dark, there's people everywhere, there's trucks with trailers on it, and obviously those have the balloons in them, and you're just kind of milling around. And then just as the sun goes up, everyone starts inflating their balloons, and then all of a sudden you're inside all these multicolored balloons because they're so tall and they're everywhere, and it's just so exciting. And then they have a rhythm on how they launch, because there's a mass ascension of all these balloons, and it kind of starts at one end of the field, and so balloons start going up in the air, but you don't see where they're coming from because you're inside all these balloons that are around you. And then before you know it, all the ones around you start going up, and it's just an open field with all these balloons everywhere. It was indescribably exciting to be right there in the field, because, I mean, we were just wandering around, like literally touching the balloons. I mean, we were right next to all of them. It's not like there was a barricade or bleachers or anything. We were just all in the middle of it, and everyone was having a good time. It's one of the things I was just so amazed by, is everybody was so polite and friendly, and there wasn't any problems with crime or anything like that. I was just so surprised. It was just so harmonious with, because 100,000 people is a lot of people crammed together, because we were crammed together. You couldn't really move that easily, right? So then after they went up, then we made our way back to the bus. There's a midway you could buy trinkets and food, but we just wanted to get back. It was cold, to be honest. We got back to the bus, and then we thought, let's go out for lunch. It was like 9:30 in the morning. It's like, oh my God, it feels like the whole day's gone by, and it's like 9:30 in the morning. I don't know how farmers do it. Excuse me. So so it was a lot of fun. The next morning I did a podcast from Albuquerque because, or did I just post a video? I think I just posted a video. It started snowing I was on Houston time still, so I was up at 5:30 in the morning, and a cold front had gone through, and it started snowing, and it was magical. And it was so much fun to go outside. But I tell you what, when you're used to being in the South, because I'm from the North, I know what cold is. When you're used to being in the South, it was like, I don't know, it was cold enough to snow, but I ran outside without any jacket on or gloves. It was so cold. I started shivering immediately. Oh, some comments came in. Let's see what. Oh, KB, you've been there. Oh, good. You got a unicorn hat there several years ago. That's kind of cool. I didn't get a souvenir, just memories. KB said, we got a good picture when we went and had it made into a puzzle. Oh my gosh. Captain KB, what a wonderful idea to make it into a puzzle, and it was a panorama. That's fantastic. I might do that. That's a good idea. That could be a good gift. Thank you, Captain KB. What a wonderful idea. Hey, Captain Kristen, good to see you. Welcome back. It's good to see you too. Yes, Captain Maggie, I had lots of photos. Those are my souvenirs. I took some videos too, and maybe I'll post those later on. I tried to go live. My intention was I was going to surprise everyone, and there was a moment when balloons were ascending and blowing up, and so I got out my phone, and there was literally this much signal, because apparently if you get 100,000 people together with cell phones, they use up all the signal. Who knew? I didn't know. I mean, I know now, it makes sense if you're in a big crowd. And then I asked, and they actually put up temporary cell towers right down on the field. So with those temporary cell towers, I got that much signal. So I wasn't able to go live. I really wanted to share it with you, so I had to just share the photos. Captain Kristen says she has a friend there that flies a balloon every year. That's really cool. Oh, you know what? My brother-in-law, who was our tour guide, back when he was in the Navy, he worked on the balloon that was like for the Navy balloon. They had a balloon for recruiting, and they went all over the country with it. So he knew the ins and outs of this fiesta. He had been there many, many times. That made it really, really cool. If you can grab yourself a local, you'll have an even better time. Oh, Captain Kristen, he was there at the same time I was? Oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, from his balloon. She talked to him on the phone from his balloon. I think that's wonderful. I did see there was celebrities there. Captain Cheryl, who were the celebrities? She sent me a picture of it. I don't know, some guy that renovates houses on HTV was there. But I didn't see him. I was looking at the balloons. There was even a balloon that looked like Tamaya. It was so cute, little white Labrador. It was massive, but. So you KB put together her puzzle and hung it in the hallway. I think that's wonderful. Hey, 10 people here. Hi, 10 people. I'm so glad you were patient with my inability to go live last week. The other thing that happened, though, is after we left Albuquerque, we drove up to where my in-laws live up by Farmington, which is up by the Four Corners of New Mexico, if you're unfamiliar, not too far from the Colorado border. And I spent the rest of the week up there, and I had every intention of going live from there because I knew I'd have a Wi-Fi signal. I actually did once. It was so cold. But what I didn't realize is I really don't think I've ever been up there in October is the mulberry trees, the cottonwood trees, and the sage all put out a bunch of pollen just before winter hits. So, and I didn't realize it was happening until it hit me. but my allergies just went insane. And I apologize. I really intended to go live every day because I thought that'd be fun, right? To get together up there, and it's so beautiful, and the sky's so blue, and it's beautiful up there. But one day I couldn't talk, which, you know, as my brother-in-law said, that's the power of prayer. He's a brat. But because I lost my voice and I couldn't talk anymore. But I just now got over those allergies, and I think it's because we got back to Houston, and now I feel pretty good. I can breathe. It wasn't pretty. Trust me, it wasn't pretty. You wouldn't have wanted to see that. Oh, Captain Sandra has good friends in Farmington. That's great. Maybe I saw them. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. So while I was up there, though, one of the things we did, I posted a picture, is we drove up to Durango, Colorado, which is one of my favorite places to visit. I mean, it's a day drive. We drove up because that whole area, much like part of the West and the Southwest, they had a really bad drought, and unfortunately also had wildfires. So, you know, the wildfires weren't officially 100% contained until they got some rain just last week, because there's always things smoldering up in the mountains. So we drove up to see the scar, essentially, to see where it burned, because it's fascinating. And there was snow up there, which is great. It was cold, but it was a beautiful day. I posted some pictures of the snow up there. I ended up in Purgatory, which cracks me up. I mean, the locals are just like, oh God, we've heard that 100 times this week already. But the name of the place is Purgatory, but it's a ski resort north of, or further up the mountain from Durango. I don't know if it's north. But yeah, I ended up in Purgatory for a while. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, so that was fun. And then we drove down to Durango, and we had lunch at a little diner that we talked to people that have been going to Durango for years, and they had never heard of. It's been there for like 80 years. It was just this long counter with only 2 tables at either end of the counter, and the food was so amazing. I just had a hamburger because that looked appealing on the menu, and it was just like my mom used to make, because my mom used to cook at a diner, you know, back in the early 80s when I was in high school. And she always, of course, they always use fresh hamburger. And now I think it's really hard to find fresh hamburger at a restaurant. It's probably not cost effective. But you could just tell, you know, it was misshapen because somebody had just done that with the patty, and it was so good. So that was a lot of fun to go up to Durango. The rest of the week, it was just, you know, get up and do stuff around town with the family. I went to a soccer game. I watched 10-year-old children play soccer in the cold at night. It was so cold. I can't emphasize that enough. But I was shocked. I was just shocked. I mean, they're just 10-year-old little kids. And I just thought they would throw the ball out there and they would all just like go into a huddle and try to kick it and kick each other. But they were actually playing soccer. They were passing the ball, and I was amazed. They seemed to know the rules, which I don't. But it was a lot of fun. You know, it was my great niece was out there playing. She did really, she's actually only 9 years old, but they moved her up to the 10-year-old team because she was doing so well. So good for her. Proud of her. But that was a lot of fun. Then we went out for Mexican food afterwards. Captain Sandra says kids don't feel the cold like we do. Oh no, they were in shorts and jerseys. I was bundled up in blankets. Watching. But I was on a metal bleacher for what it's worth, and there was a breeze. Got back in the car and I was like, oh, let's look at the temperature, and it was 68 degrees. I thought it was going to say like 34, but it was 68. So, and then I ended up in a bowling alley at one point, because, you know, that's what happens. You leave the city for 2 or 3 days, you end up at a bowling alley. It was fun. I used to bowl all the time when I was a kid. I enjoyed it. So it brought back a lot of memories. I didn't bowl. It was league night, so I was there to, you know, some of my in-laws are on the league. So I was there to support them, and it was a lot of fun. I took video. I took pictures. Made some memories, made new friends. It was a lot of fun. I would have liked to have bowled, but it was more fun to watch them play. So anyway, got to see my puppy nephew. Some of you know I have a puppy nephew named Sam, who is a chocolate Labrador. And he'll be 2 years old in December. And oh my gosh, he's so much fun. So much energy. He's got a real thick coat because he's an outdoor dog. Unlike my sissified city dogs that they're like, oh, I need a pedicure every week. And Sam's just like this rough and tumble dog. It was a lot of fun to see him too. I haven't seen him since last May, so he was much younger last time. He's matured. So that was fun. But we had some excitement, lots of drama. There wasn't supposed to be any drama. And I got a call from the pet sitter that the laundry room flooded one day. And apparently they got a lot of rain here in Houston, and somebody forgot to close that window before they left on the trip. I leave it open because that's where the cat box is, and it's nice to get fresh air in there, right? So that flooded, so that was a lot of drama. My friend April had to come over and put towels down and stuff. Still smells a little damp in there. But then, like 2 days later, the alarm got tripped, and it turned out that it malfunctioned when the cat sitter punched in the code. And we thought, okay, well, maybe she just did it wrong or whatever. So 2:30 in the morning, the phone rang, and it was the alarm company saying the alarm had tripped again. And should we call the police? So, well, I said yeah, because I was out of town, right? So call the police. You get one, you get one false alarm a year, and then they start charging you. So this would be my first one this year. It's not my first one ever. It's my first one this year. So then after we hung up the phone, I have like security cameras in the house that you can look at them on your phone. I can look at them on my phone. So I looked at the front door, and about 20 minutes later, sure enough, there were the cops looking in the windows, knocking on the door, making sure the place was all secure. But I checked all the doors from the cameras. I could see nobody broke in. So the alarm couldn't be set for the rest of the week. And I thought, okay, shoot, we'll be home in a couple days. All the drama's over. But then I got a phone call from where the dogs are being lodged, which is the same place they go to daycare. Everybody loves them. They've been going there for years. And I was like, oh no. It was like, I think Friday, because I came back Sunday. I was like, oh no, we're almost coming home. Please don't let it be anything serious, right? And the girl goes, well, we ran out of food. You didn't pack them enough food. Because I have to pack little baggies of food that are portioned out for them to take in with me when I drop them off. And I apparently didn't count correctly, so they ran out of food with 2 days left. Well, Tamaya could stand to lose some weight, but they called to give permission for them to feed them their own house food, right? I'm sure they'll charge me for it. So it's just all this drama. It's like, I just wanted a vacation. I just wanted to breathe. Captain Maggie says, on your new floors? No, Maggie, the laundry room's at the back side of the house. That used to be a garage, and previous owners have turned it into they attached it to the house. And it's where the man cave is. And it's actually cement floors with indoor-outdoor carpeting. So it's not tragic that this happened. It was just unfortunate. It panicked the cat sitter, because she came in and the floors were really wet. And, it had been raining really hard. So she was a little worried about it all. So that's been, I hope everyone's been okay. I got home last night. I got lots of stuff to do. If you remember previously, the entire dining room is full of boxes. So I need to start unpacking. I went and got groceries this morning, so I'm good to go for groceries. However, I do have to run out and get some more cat food. That's at a different store, so I'll do that after lunch. But then I got tons of laundry to do, and I got to get the place ready because I pick up the doggies at 4 p.m. I'm very excited. I'm very excited about picking up the girls. We got in way too late last night to be able to pick them up from the boarding place, and it was really weird that, it was so quiet without them here, and it was weird not having Tamaya snoring right next to me in bed. So it'll be nice to go pick them up. I miss them. It's only 57 degrees here right now. 57. Remember how I used to complain it was so hot? No, it's cold. No, it's 57. It's going on 71, but it's cloudy and really humid, so it feels colder than it really is. But the dogs love it. They'll be frisky, and the pool's probably really cold by now. It's probably 60 degrees. And being Labradors, they absolutely love it. They jump in when it's colder more than when it's hotter. KB says it's 70 in southern Ohio. We have the same temperature. Yes, Captain Sandra, they'll be glad to see me too, I'm sure. I understand how dogs think. You know, while we're gone, they don't really think about us. That's not how their mind works. I've read a lot about dog psychology, and what they believe is that a dog has memories, but a dog's unable to conjure memories. Excuse me. So it's not like they sit there contemplating, like, oh, what happened? But their memories can be triggered. So when they see you, it triggers like, oh, yes, 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 I remember you, yes. And then they're all happy to see you, but it's triggered. And while they're there with all their puppy friends, they're not thinking about me. So that's fine. That's why I don't mind boarding them, because I know they're having a lot of fun. We get pictures every once in a while, and they look very happy. The owner said she was going to let them sleep in her office because she loves Tamaya so much. So instead of having to sleep in one of the lodging cages, or, you know, there's the kennels that they have, they actually got to sleep in the owner's office. They're not spoiled at all. I noticed Captain Charles didn't show up, and the reason why is, you know, he works for the county, and he had to go set up voting booths because early voting started today in Houston. As always, I keep my online presence completely non-political, but as an American, vote. I think voting is one of the most important things we do. So our early voting started here in Houston. I like to go on election day because I think it's more exciting. So I'm going to wait to, but if you don't like the lines, or if you have a disability that makes standing in line more difficult for you, go and early vote. Captain Maggie says her dad's been out of town and the dog stopped eating. So I called him yesterday and told him to talk while I held the phone by her ear. Oh, that's so sweet. So it triggered that memory. That's wonderful. Thing is with animals is, you know, they can associate eating with their owner. So if the owner's not there, it doesn't make sense to eat. So it's not like she's sitting there, you know, pining away for her owner, but without, you know, dad there with her, it doesn't make sense to eat. You know, eating is such a, it's like a caste system within a pack. So it's like the head of the pack has to eat first before the next one down feels free to. So I'm glad she responded to his voice. That's very, very sweet. Okay, folks, well, I'm going to go do some laundry and have some lunch and go get some cat food and get ready for the girls to come home. I got Chandler right here. You can't see her because she's down on my lap. But every time I sit down, I have a cat on my lap. She's like, you are not moving. It's cute. Anyway, folks, thank you for your patience. We'll be here. We're back on schedule now. I'll be back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central in the USA. I hope you'll come and join me again. And say it with me, everyone. No matter what life throws at me, I have the ability to make this a fantastic day. Okay, I love you guys so much. I missed you. I'm so glad we're back. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.